what do you remember about the show in Bogota?
And I just remember that I was so stoked because it was my first show. It was my first show of that tour, and I just remember I was so excited. I had to like calm myself down. I remember they had there was a ball out there, and I was like kicking this ball out of the audience, and I don't know. It just like there's that's definitely one of the shows. Like it's in my top 10 shows because it was so electric and it felt so you could feel it in the air. Sometimes in modern performances and stuff we're in ears and all that stuff. We're kind of separated, and it's like not as I feel like when it was just like like people were like, yeah, I can feel it. Everything's so like kind of structured, where we're like wrapped in a bubble in our heads, and like and we have to make concerted efforts to like connect to the audience, which I do, but it's like not as it's not as easy. You have to really work for it. But that show, I just remember being like, holy shit, this is fun. It was great.
It was a total sold out show. I remember that show sold out in like, I don't know, it was like 4 hours, and that's like a record. That's a record for a sold out show here. It was definitely amazing. Now let's talk about the new song and then the new video, which I loved. I mean, it was, it's got that epic beginning. It sounds like a Western song. It's so cool. Tell me a bit about the one that you love. Is the name of it, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, we wrote it in Mexico, which is cool. We got a place in Cabo. This really cool hotel called the El Ganzo Hotel, which is like a very artist friendly place. They have a studio in the basement. We decided to bring a bunch of our own equipment. Mike Del Rio and Nate Campany and I we brought some equipment, and they gave us a bunch of equipment, and we set up a studio in the penthouse room up there, or like the top floor, so you had a nice view. And we wrote like 8 songs down there, and but this was the second one of all those songs. And I don't know, we were inspired. We were at a restaurant across the street, and this dude was like he was so cute. He was like a big guy. His guitar was kind of small, not like not a ukulele, but it was like like this kind of these little guys. And he just looked up, and he had this like you know what a nudie suit is, like one of those old kind of like Western looking suits with the hearts and shit on the on the sleeves, and it's like very ornate. And he was playing this like ranchero vibe, and we were just like, I don't know, we just felt very like inspired, and we went upstairs, and like Mike started playing this cool little thing, and I don't know, I just like I just was like, nah, I do not what you want, and it just kind of popped out, and so it just felt like it had swagger, like even I sang it for the first time at rehearsal yesterday for the live stream, and it has like this like waltz kind of like vibe, and it kind of fits like the whole horse thing, but the horse thing came about because the director Darren Craig was he was trying to think of like creative ways that we could do something that was outside and we were social distancing and everything, everyone had masks on. It was and it was one of the first videos. It was one of the first things that a lot of the crew was like getting back to doing stuff. They, no one's been doing anything. And so we were going to do a car. It felt boring. I was like, what about a motorcycle maybe? That felt a little wild. And then hard to like kind of sing and all that. And then Darren's like, I think a horse sounds kind of cool. And I was like, oh shit, that's really, really, really cool. And again, it just felt like it fit the vibe of the song. And so we were just inspired. Like it just kind of, like the best collaborations, they always like come about where you're like, what if, oh shit, yeah, let's do that. The next thing you know, I'm in Simi Valley riding a horse.
Were you planning on releasing at this time, or
I don't need, that's the thing. Like that's what's interesting about life, the timing of it. I don't know that, I mean, it might've happened the same way, but I would have been on tour. I think I would have been home for like 1 week, because I started in South America, and I was going to Australia and then Russia, Ukraine, and then I was back to Mexico for a show. And then after that, I was going to do a video in like this 1 week area. So I don't know that it would have worked out quite like this, but you know, I think it's like it was like a product of having more time with the quarantine, you know.
Now let's talk about the preparations for Saturday's show and what your experience has been like. I understand you were in a rehearsal before the interview. Tell me everything about. How do you feel?
I've been posting little snippets on Instagram, but it's you know, it's like a full-on set. It's like it's everything but the audience. We're doing camera blocking today, and it was really fun yesterday. Like I haven't sang the whole set in a while, and it's always a thrill. I think, you know, the first time you sing a new song with the band, you know, it's like it either fills you with you're either stoked or you're bummed, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, that's not great. You know, or you know, you need to work on it. But like this was one of those ones. The first time we sang it, just like the first run through, it was like, wow, this feels really good. So I'm psyched to sing that. We have a couple other surprises, and we'll see. You know, it's like I think it's you know, I think it's it's gonna have some energy to it. You know, even though we're not there, but I think the whole thing about playing it live is cool because it makes me feel like kind of a little nervous and like, you know, anticipating. And I think, you know, when we're all there together, it'll be interesting to be like, oh, wow, you know, everyone's seeing this for the first time. And I'm, you know, doing it for the first time.
Do you think we'll go back to live shows?
I do.
I sometimes think, you know, I don't know. I try to be as optimistic as I can.
Yeah.
But like I said before, this week has been like, oh my God, what if we're never going to be back to concert?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Your head could play tricks with you, but you know, I mean, so every 100 years it seems that we get one of these, like, you know, like the plague. You know, there was like, you know, the flu or in 1918 or whatever. You know, I mean, then you hear about like the Roaring '20s. It's like, why do you think they were the Roaring '20s? Because everyone was like, holy shit, fuck, we gotta get out. You know, I mean, if nothing else, I think the youngest music fans will lead us back, because they're gonna be like, oh hell no, man, I'm gonna see live music. There's no way I'm not doing this. You know what I mean? And you know, it's gonna be, you know, I'm not saying, I think next year, especially, you know, I don't know, I think maybe the whole of next year might be a little bit like loose, you know, where you're just like, you know, no one's going to be like packed in like sardines. I think that it's going to be, you know, like kind of like, you know, like, you know, in the forest when like the hunter comes and all the animals like go in the log, and then like they wait, you know, and then like, you know, Snow White comes into the forest and she starts singing or something down there, like, oh, hey. That's people right now. I think it's, you know, it's definitely going to come back. It's just like, it's not going to be, you know, it's like when you're sick too, you know, like when someone has a cold or something, you wish you could be better in a day, you know. It's not how this works.
I hate talking politics, but I'm just going to ask one quick question, final question. You going to vote in November?
I mean, yes. And that's like, you know, one of the biggest things that, you know, I mean, to any Americans who see this, I mean, please vote, you know. It's the only way out, you know. And I think we just like, we just don't want to admit it to ourselves, you know. But I absolutely am going to vote. I mean, you know, it's not, it's going to be a very minor, you know, change, well, major and minor, you know what I mean. But we have to keep voting also on a, you know, a local level to help change things, because you know, we really let this one happen, you know. And it's I mean, in some ways, if you talk to some people, they're like, it happened, you know, it was grabbed. But you know, we're trying to get through it. So you know, we have a lot of work ahead of us.
I love the hat. It's beautiful.
Thanks. It's called Bedhead. Boink.
Amazing. Looking forward to the show on Saturday. Beautiful song, great music. Is there an album coming out?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's hard because I'm so on the other songs already, you know, because we're working on the whole record. So I'm just like, oh yeah, that's great. No, but wait till you know, I think there's a lot of stuff on this record that I think is, I hope people will like. So yeah, it's about around March, I think the record's coming out, but probably more singles to come before that.
It's been great talking to you. It's been great knowing you and knowing that you're well. Stay safe, stay strong.
You too.
Take good care. See you on Saturday. Goodbye.
Bye.